The ecoson is just a tsunami in a teacup. Some individuals try to make it look like some upstage BS. The whole focus of this country should be shifted to what is going on. So for me, I think the ecoson ye de hunwa sabi nyansa bianim. And my culture that I say the NPP as a political party, abaye a sinking enterprise. On the downward spiral. Had the ecosona anything bia ecoswa faso ni su bia no na obohu se na omakwa akodi achire, because so far the process to remove Chief Justice no nye ade a obeka se obi afom mmara bia na say the constitutional provision as outlined in the 1992 constitution, there has been any way bia obi ayabuso, because processes has been outlined. So you perceive remove Chief Justice through her, and then any say but because constitutional framework not taught it wise. A time will come, somebody may become a Chief Justice and may decide to go wayward and I become a rogue agent. Or did the very sacred institution of judiciary and at that window was created in an event such a thing happened. This is the avenue that has been given to us as people. Now you found remedy the situation. So it's a constitutional framework. Our constitutional framework is not taught it twice. And now that process has been activated. It's not the first time such processes have been activated. Because in recent times, what happened to your friend said, Madame Charlotte Osei as AC boss, the same process was activated. The same thing is a window that was created in the constitution. Akufo-Addo used that particular process based on Nehemiah Ekoso. Till date, even in that petition, Nipo or this petition, there will be a nimno, but Charlotte Osei was removed. Abra announce an investigation or the report President Akufo-Addo suspended 4 judges. Yedi assembly no pamo munyina because of issues of corruption. President John Mahama and NPP 14 the council. Aya mami yefene Loretta, yefene Lamte, awo yefene Shraj boss. She was appointed by Professor Mills. And not on Prene, one other Richard Niyama in the NPP submitted a petition in 2016 to President Mahama. Abra committee in the year no Jumene who say Mahameno and 7 more Kafano one Ayan Creno, the woman was removed. So activating such a constitutional provision to remove somebody from office, is not something a been see that Mama about 4 instances. Yes. But the mere fact of be a Chief Justice doesn't mean also Ghana. No. The Chief Justice, just like any other person, working for the people of this country. So at any point in time, if Nema Oyeno is in direct contravention with established rules of engagement, you will need to suffer the consequences. As at now, nobody has. Obianu who Chief Justice a free ho. But the Nyomne Nema NPP for they are making it look like they have a particular interest in the CJ Nan Kasa, because President Mahama by and Rana Mekani baby said individuals of Molusu or Moju and Paketwa. Yeah. Oko, your friend is saying, Confanochia, CEO no, say Omoinedi. Yeah. Oko Tamala, CEO no Hono, and several other individuals, high profile individuals of Molusu or Moju because of change of government. Why are they not protesting? Why are they not saying, say, these people are being hounded out? Why are they not challenging? But particular interest is placed on Chief Justice. Then it goes to affirm in some amount for a cancer. Mameno, Obia, Modini be see ho, sabe you be protecting your interest. You are only affirming that particular fact because as it stands now, processes not as ya go through now no. Emudia wo hena from emra. Petition na will be submitted their corner. Council of State petition num. Na president take a decision na constitution say all the right to do. Which aspect? Omo ye demonstration no. Udi omo china bisa omo say demonstration in some no mo kan nyina no. What constitutional infraction and a premised honor? Nobody will be able to tell you anything sensible. Nothing sensible will be able to. They will tell you say, "Ebi a way provision when a president na abuso." Yes. Is the reason why Abrante and Tam and some of the court because that particular suit was a foolish suit because president in exercising his executive functions as outlined in the constitution, no court can stop the president. So when I had a ruling and not say 3-2 no, may came a ruling now, but I'm how the two dissented because it doesn't make sense because Nema Nana Ekosono No process. Constitution they say president receive petitioner unforwarded to Council of State. There is nowhere in the Constitution that says at that point, the Chief Justice must be given a hearing. Constitution, who go further say committee set it up as a principle of natural justice, the accused must be heard. That one has been written in the Constitution. Say you set up a committee, and the Chief Justice must be heard either in person or by a lawyer.
Okay.
But at the early stages, my catcher said that process is not an adversarial process. Any adverse finding can be advanced against the Chief Justice. And you just say petitioner doesn't meet the threshold a petition. Okay. Is it competent enough? It is not an adjudicatory body. I'll go into the merit of the issue. So at that point, so once the Chief Justice on the side of the matter, per the Constitution, we don't breach any law. What I say? But the president thought it wise. At this point, you let me give her a hearing. And the woman was given a fair hearing. Council of State at an issue, so near conclude say, and some at this point, there is merit. We can't just brush it. And then the Constitution, that article, whenever a committee is set up, president have a discretionary power to exercise. And that discretionary power is either to allow the Chief Justice to stay or allow the Chief Justice to suspend the Chief Justice. That provision, we a Ghana Bar Association. Now, when a winning member, now be cancer and same way when I say, Ode, Winyan Sabato in China, wabe speaking to emotion, raw emotions, as Sabinyan anymore. People will question you. Say, Marana, people begin to question your integrity because it is quite clear and outline the Constitution say, President, that power either to exercise or best suspend the Chief Justice. And in this case, why exercise here? What is your problem? So for me, Sanka, there say any of these institutions and any of these parties has been able to premise this whole argument. Oh, President Mahama article we see and you say, but so far this provision has been breached. Nobody will be able to tell you anything sensible apart from the emotional crusade campaign we're embarking on. And then after your marking, we saw in a video this is a city member of parliament assaulting the police officer in uniform. Like I tell us, you're an honorable person. Now when I'm Ghana, don't think being just honorable is enough to draw you respect. No, respect is a virtue we earn. We don't demand it. So you cannot force people. And the way a speaker now with the parliament now here, some of your members babon thing. Nasa asuban we no mo bedanadi. Nasa man for treated them with that contempt that they deserve. You cannot hold anybody to come and say, we are inviting you before Privileges Committee. Because if there is anything Privileges Committee, this individual should be standing there and be telling Parliament why people will go out there and embarrass themselves in the manner that we saw. So for me, I'm expecting, the IGP and his team will make sure, this particular issue, they don't brush it aside. Because the MPR sort of police officer, now you let it go, you slide, and nothing happens. At the end of the day, and ordinary people will be assaulting police officers, and in that case, you can act. You understand? We cannot just be creating a lawless country where people think, because they empower, they can just do anything and get away with it. In the first place, a demonstration because it's not premised on anything sensible. They've not been able to tell us why they are doing the demonstration. No constitutional provision has been breached. There hasn't been any way be breachy way. And what is the basis? But I've always said, demonstration protestations are legitimate constitutional tools among for employed to register their displeasure. Allow them to demonstrate, but Ghana for will know them for who they are. But this particular way the guy has crossed his Rubicon. And for me, this is the time for the state to show, indeed, some of these things, this nasty occurrence, cannot be allowed to slide. Because at the end of the day, if things like this, where an honorable, so-called honorable person is seen in the video assaulting a police officer, when the police officer is in the uniform, he is not representing himself, he is representing the authority of the state. And this is a minority leader assaulting a police officer. It's a big issue. Oh, exactly. Because And Ghana, we can do the same thing. You understand?
Because now, no, who MP in Crown, your parliamentary duty now.
No.
Party parliament is on recess.
Yes, and the police officer has a duty. And I'm saying that these are bunch of your friends, shameless individuals. And the NPP as a political party, 8 million kukudua catch and say, they care so much about democracy to the extent say we need to save our judiciary. These are a bunch of jokers nobody should take serious.
Thank you, sir.
Were they in this country when Akufo-Addo was taking those silly decisions? Now dented the credibility of our judiciary when the gentleman was packing the court with non-friendly people in the NPP. Where were they? These are a bunch of jokers. I think that we don't even need to waste time on them because say Niamana omo eka ho asem no happen thousandfold under them, and during that time we saw massive and flagrant constitutional breaches. For instance, look at how your own friend Domilivo, how he was treated. Nipa na ye de asem di no or court ye transema ye friends or retirement and say ye di asem no, and several such occurrences happen okroma. What is a Ghana bar situation sorry here? And suddenly, you find your voice. You think people will respect you because you are a lawyer. Hey, come on. You see, suddenly, man, when you meet ignorant people who don't know their left from their right, if you want to be respected, when okasa, you need to prove that indeed you are educated, you are a lawyer, not just because didn't that so keke. Okay. What has happened?
All right. Me that say, yanko yanim na owura dubo kwabra dubo inda eda yoko cells. Yes, so I start here. I want to niama. My name do the 4 man there. And 7 days now so. You know. Okay. Ti was say and your party any be one more. Attorney General de abono, but what then you need sign your party in your modia. You them politicians when your party are more than girlfriends in Mabusia for a dinner to Monya lifestyle audit of all their family members. Lifestyle audit. All their family members. Abrabo mo boni sika na there because sometimes e dan bi wo no mo a normally amoma mo mabusu afo so we dey asoma si dia ebi no form din ye eti eno no ona bo betrans na fe yenwie wie ne yekọ ebi was saying was former okay also no innocent na remonacha and deliberately no was misrepresentation of any distortion of facts and seven back couldn't be so what the about on your time 5 minutes yanko
okay neo minister and
omunyi phone in finism
Endra Co-LINKZ ebisa Godfrey question when to me boy and I say listen to Co-LINKZ. Show us the clause in Article 146 where it states the timeline for the notifying the Chief Justice that a petition for her removal has been received. Damien to young Kaushi is a asem ayer kwasiasem. Etiefo. Nia ekoso ni nyina no. One say who share Article 146 subsection 6 subsection 10A. Nia mahama ye ni nyina edemu fua.
Edemu yopo.
Oh, one say mabuma me nya lawyer no but my share that kum.
So shamra.
Yes.
We are formal lawmaker.
146
shamra
point 6. Okay, we are now called point 10. Okay, we are now called point 10A. Now say bibia da hopefe. Inti inde ye bisa NPP for say omumbrambe kire ye bebia mahama fum His Excellency efa tokonu ni suspension wa omuntumi nyobeka kire ni say oh na mahama petete enunti no hesade no mahu NPP for support grassroots ministramu afenyu makin omuni menukure no but debi omu dadamo debi omu dadamo the first minority leader osi police abunu and now no abu police ni onu ni afenyu makin ka kire Ghana for say onu de se hwin fa ne ho entinu NDC for na bebu nkunta ama Ghana for in 2028 enunti se asemba onu obetwi ni tan na se NDC for di na chia at the end of the day no na 4 years no na asa inti misramu a afenyu makio NPP for don't listen to them. His Excellency is following the constitution. Say assembly wo ho a His Excellency aye enya NPP for Omufambra.
Yeah.
In going for third term, we cannot use the judges, the Supreme Court judges, for a president, a sitting president, to go for a third term. You can't use parliament because it is an entrenched clause. And in entrenched clause, you must go for a referendum. Now, sa referendum no NPP for betuaba, NDC for betuaba. And no number yes or no, yes or no. Apenyuma ke oni weni now.
Yeah.
They know it. Into politics no mu ye. Minim ni enti a police ni no entumi a matwade no. So say edan mfin.
Yeah.
Someone say who disguise who ko wura nkodam a ye fa say we akoda enye za say or the chichi eche kokofo eche any chichi no dey ashanti police ni no wa hu but afenyuma ke susu na di kan ana onu su to police ni twade o.
Yeah, so far
you wait.
Apenyoma can claims no oni any video be our evidence.
But police do
police did the video.
That's right.
Our tone is born.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or
no so admitting it there. Or no the end will need there's no video evidence. Cause all kind of daisy here I can class on the call washroom. Not the just entron kwa. Na mo Apenyoma can de we
manga
ako ye vene say. Wako demonstration na police na kobona. Edgar and San John for call omuni video.
Andre akro ma bu nsentroni nanu Atinka TV omuso oye TV3 ni ndra me kwatinka makonho abrante no yegunu mo journalist su fozu no mo anka ho fio senka ndisi ena obo da se na mo yese na anka mafa ni
ya ya bo no afa tape number dia yehu ye. Okay, ye ko ofake eba na ofake ba oba ni nyina me mo ofake dro ba ko pe aye fosua men powder na fosua men powder no aye natural aye herbal medicine ye design ye bo mema pa mo giro mo na so na waka kire be oba ne se obedi sika na mo beden ubeda g what you say tinu wan say powder no obepe bi no wan nom na libido yes what think level be kosro na I'll improve your stamina in bed what you say it support your stamina and endurance na boa for early ejaculation obi wan mo akuya sorry yo wa ma edu dabi we ugu ho ni mo asepa eti fosua men powder no ebe boa na watimi adimra